tonight, like some truths, you'll get some truths surely. Here is your truth, where is my truth right now? Here is your truth right now, come on, be patient, here is the truth. Moyes. Poor old David Moyes, he's been humiliated. How do you feel right now, David? I just have to say I feel quite humiliated. David Moyes finally has the thing happen to him that his face looks like it's been designed for. David, there's some disappointing news for you. Luckily, you've been preparing your whole life for the facial expression. I've been sacked after apparently getting a dream job. Yeah, luckily, look at that. The coordinates are there all over your face. Your face is like a map of disappointment. How come it was in all the papers? At this point, it hadn't happened yet. It's in all the papers, it hadn't happened yet, you know. This is predictions. All of these papers are predicting it. Obviously it was a leak, and I think what it was is that it was like the Glaziers had to declare something for the New York stock market about, you know, like coming up to a fiscal year. There was some sort of assessment taking place. So someone leaked, we're going to sack Moyes. What I think is the way you have to revise someone's destiny when something like that happens. I did always say that Manchester United would have to have an interim manager that failed. As human beings, we have this tendency to sort of want to follow great leaders. I'm like fascinated by Fergie and Mourinho and now Brendan Rodgers that have this air about them, men where you'd sort of, if they went, right, I need you to stand over there, don't let anyone come past. Okay, boss! Like, you know, there's not like, Moyes, I don't feel like I would do that for him. Whereas like Jose Mourinho, I feel like if you went, Russell, I need you at half time. You run out onto Green Street, you see the man there, he's selling hot dogs, fried eggs. I want you to punch him in the face. You do this for me. I will, Jose! I will! Is there a shared quality between Brendan Rodgers, Jose Mourinho, Sir Alex Ferguson? What is there something they have? I would say there is. I would say that there is a quality of charisma, certainly, and a kind of stability. When we're building myths, we want to build it around a tribal chieftain. Jose Mourinho, I think he's a rarity because he does those odd flamboyant things like the darting up and down the touch lines, saying weird shit to people. Oh, I'm a wife, she don't watch the matches. Or when like in extra time in their PSG game, he darted off down the he's an exhibitionist. He is an exhibitionist, isn't he? Like to tell them, oh, like, right, you little drop back now. He said it was entirely practical. But I know that Mourinho is a man that understands spectacle, understands narrative, understands story. Moyes is part of the story, but I don't think he ever understood his role in the story. His role was to be a sort of sorbet between Ferguson and whatever happens next, just a cleanse of the palate. And it's an interesting idea about what's important, the individual or the community. You know, the joint entity or the collective entity or the individual. When you think of like West Ham, we're moving to a different ground in a year's time. So what is West Ham now? The players change all the time. The manager changes all the time. Well, now we're going to another ground. What is West Ham? It's an idea. It's just an idea in claret and blue. Other teams wear claret and blue. Burnley just been promoted. Villa wear claret. You know, so what is it? The idea is we believe West Ham. What are these football teams? They were like what were they at the beginning? At the beginning, they were representations of the people of that community. West Ham United came from the Thames iron workers, Millwall from the dockers on the other side of the river, and I don't know the histories of the northern clubs, but I imagine it's comparable, like representatives of industry, representatives of class, and as the unions break down, as our sense of community breaks down, even when these clubs are more companies than football clubs, there's still a sense, there's still an attachment. People feel like Manchester United belongs to them. Even if you change the ground, change the players, change the managers, there's some essence that hooks into us deep inside. So what you need from the leader is someone that's able to speak to that. And David Moyes couldn't. Will Ryan Giggs be able to? We shall find out more. That was a David Moyes special on The Trews. Thank you very much, I'm Mr. Brand. Just football analysis, really. No jokes.